Hello again, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina, I am your host. I am here super excited to go over the full lineup of Bumbleride single strollers for my fabulous audience today. But if you haven't yet, go ahead and like, follow, or subscribe. If it makes sense to share this video with someone, go ahead and share it. Sharing is caring. And if you're inspired by this video, if you learned something from it, you want to check out more colors, pricing, accessories, all of that, head on over to my website, destinationbabykids.com. I'm a real brick and mortar store here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I can sell any of these strollers directly to you in any color. I can ship it to your house for free. We can get that going ASAP. So head on over to destinationbabykids.com. That is the best way to support this channel other than subscribing and watching every video. All right, thanks guys. Let's talk about the Bumbleride single stroller lineup for 2025. All right, what are we looking at? Well, I've got all three choices directly here to show my fabulous viewing audience. The stroller in the black is going to be probably their most popular option. That is called the Bumbleride Indie. That is $799. It holds a 55-pound child. It holds 15 pounds in the basket, and it has a 3-year warranty. The green stroller directly in front of me is going to be referred to as the Bumbleride Era. So this is a $950 stroller from Bumbleride, $949, holds 55 pounds in the seat, 15 in the basket, has a 3-year warranty. If we come over to the blue stroller here, this is going to be a personal favorite of mine. This is a Bumbleride Speed. So Bumbleride Speed is going to be $799. It holds a 65-pound child and 15 pounds in the basket, also 3-year warranty. Now, all three of these strollers are made in Taiwan. Bumbleride is a fabulous brand because it's a little bit more bespoke than some of the larger stroller companies. Owned by themselves, only work with 50 subcontractors, extremely green. All of the material here is able to be recycled. You can go onto Bumbleride's website. They will tell you how to recycle every piece on the stroller. They also have some information about how the black color uses less water in the dyeing process, how they don't use any nasty chemicals on any part of the stroller. They've been cognizant of that since like 2016. All the fabrics are Oeko-Tex certified. Recycled 65 plastic water bottles per stroller in every seat fabric material. So if you're looking for a green option, something that's not going to disrupt sort of leaving a better world for your kiddo, Bumbleride's a great brand to align yourself with for this type of purchase because you can be really confident that you're buying something that's really ecologically responsibly made. Okay, pricing's really good too, and warranty's fabulous. Let's talk about some statistical stuff, right? So the weights of the products. The Speed, the Indie, which is the black stroller, that is 24 pounds. The Speed is 26 pounds, that's the blue stroller, and the green Era is 27 pounds. So Era is going to weigh the most out of all three. That's a little surprising for people. Usually they think it's going to be Speed because the Speed has the 16-inch rear tire and the 12-inch front tire. Now your Indie stroller has all three tires being 12 inches. Era, on the other hand, is the only option from Bumbleride that's a single stroller with 4 tires. So your back tires are going to be 12 inches, your front tires are 8 inches. So adding an additional tire will add weight. But there is one other thing that Era is going to do differently than Indie or Speed. And so Era has this opportunity, if you wanted, to take the main seat that comes with the stroller and pull it out and reverse it so it can be parent facing. So Era is sort of like all-terrain, pneumatic tires, walking stroller with this option for baby to look directly at the caregiver, and by that same measure, still be suitable for a newborn directly out of the box. You've got the vent on the back, you've got the vent on the top. That's going to be true of all three in terms of the ventilation. Now, as far as newborn compatibility is concerned, Indie, which is the black stroller with the 12-inch tire, would give you that newborn compatibility out of the box. So you can go ahead and recline the stroller, you can put it all together on the front there, and you can have a brand new baby laying directly in the Indie, going for a walk, day one coming home from the hospital. Speed, on the other hand, which is this blue boy right here, Speed is a running stroller, okay? It can be used for walking, can be used for shopping, it can be used for all kinds of things. But in reality, of the three of these, the Speed is designed for running. So, in typical fashion for a running stroller, our recline is not going to be sufficient for a newborn. This is not the end of the world. We're going to be able to do a car seat on here, no problem. We could do a bassinet on here, no problem, if we wanted to use this from newborn. But again, we would not do any high impact running with either Indie or Speed for at least the first 6 months. Now, the 4-wheel stroller has 4 tires. This should be an indication to you, my fabulous viewer, that this is not intended to be a running stroller. Now, that being said, it is still extremely all-terrain. And what I mean by that is all 3 of these strollers have this option where you can lock the tires from swiveling into a fixed position. Now, why would you ever want to do that? Well, for running, which is what you would do here with the Speed, locking the tire is going to give you your largest triangular plane of stability for your downstride. I don't run, I just walk, but even locking the tire just to maneuver through stuff, very, very easy. The other thing that's very cool about Speed is that you can actually spin it backward and lock it, and then it's going to do this 45-degree angled lock. The other thing that you can always tell a running stroller versus just a typical walking stroller is there is an alignment knob on the front of this Speed. Over time, this product, if you run with the tire locked, it's going to veer to the left or right based on which side of your body is stronger. The stroller will start to not be in perfect alignment any longer and veer in one or the other direction. You can counteract that with the alignment knob that is on the front tire. So that is definitely a true hallmark of a running stroller, to have an alignment on the front wheel, which you do get with Speed. Now, what's very exciting with Speed is that you still get the articulating footplate. On a lot of the strollers that are meant for all kinds of activities, you don't get this plate that moves. All 3 products have articulating footplate, so that is something that we love to point out on all of them. None of them are going to be a poor choice for kiddos when they're laying down. And what I mean by that is all 3 go flat enough to do a diaper change on the go. So while the Speed is not necessarily newborn compatible, I'd argue all 3 of these are a great choice in case you're ever like out and maybe the men's room doesn't have a place to change the diaper. With any one of these strollers, we can just recline it flat, put that articulating footplate up, and then we have a nice flat surface to be able to complete a diaper change on the go. So very exciting feature. Let's get back to some of those statistical differences. So backrest on Indie and Era are going to be 19 inches. The backrest on the Speed I got at 20, but they're all close. Canopy clearance, 22 inches on Indie, 22 inches on Era. Canopy clearance on Speed is going to be 24 inches. So again, Speed holds 10 more pounds of kid and accommodates a little bit longer of a body for the canopy as well as the seat. So the harness minimums and maximums. So the Indie has 3 harness positions, 10 inches, 11 and a half, 14. On Era, we have 3 ranging from 9 to 13 and a half. And then the harness on Speed is the same as it is on Indie, so 10, 11 and a half, and 14. Seat width, Speed and Indie, same width. The width of the seat is 14 inches. On Era, the width of the seat is 13. Obviously, because the seat's reversible, it's going to be a little bit narrower. The depth on all 3 seats is 9 inches. And the leg extension on Era is the longest. So this piece here on Era is the longest of the 3, and that one's going to be 12 inches. Our leg extension on Speed and on Indie is 9 inches. The knee drop, that's the distance from the knee coming here going all the way down, on all 3 products is 14 inches, so that's roughly the same. Handle heights, they're all going to start at a low handle height of 26 inches, and then your Speed will go up to the tallest of 47 and a half inches tall. Indie would be next at 46 inches tall, and then Era is the shortest at 44 and a half inches tall, but that's still very, very tall. Buckle type, they all have a 3 or a 5-point typical plastic buckle, so there is no magnetic buckle on these products, but it does not bother me because it can be either 3 or 5 point. They all have a 15-pound basket, but basket sizes are going to vary. So the basket size on the Speed and on the Indie is identical. You're at 17 by 15 by 11, But on the Era, it's gonna be a little bit larger. So your Era basket, oops, I should unlock these tires, right? It'll make it easier to turn. Your Era basket is a physically larger basket. So the Era basket is going to be 21 by 15 by 9, but the opening to get in and out is actually smaller. So Era opening on the back is 6.75 inches, and then on Indie and on Speed, the opening in the back, even though the basket is a little smaller, that opening is 9 inches. So it's a little bit more accessible. Now they all have, thankfully, sandal-friendly operation for the brake. And speaking of which, all three could have a wrist strap attached to the handle. I don't put those on because I think they're ridiculous, but if you were running, that would be an important piece to have on the Speed. So you can definitely attach it. And they all come with a pneumatic tire, which is in the basket, which is in a secret zippered pocket in the basket. So all three models have a secret zippered pocket in the basket, and all three models have a secret zippered pocket on the back of the seat. All three models also have the top vent as well as the vent when the seat is in recline. So you get 2 ventilated modes on all 3 of them. None of them will have a one-handed fold. And another special thing about Era versus the other 2 is that Era has a heel stirrup attached to the actual seat. And all that means is that when we turn it into a parent-facing mode, kiddo would have a place to put their heels. This is more useful when you're comparing it to other types of strollers this way. For instance, the Nuna Swiv, the Silver Cross Reef, the Nuna Mix Next, all of those have reversible seats, but they don't have a heel stirrup. So if we're gonna play this game where the seat goes backward, I want my kid to have a place to put their feet. It's fine to have an articulating foot plate, but it's very, very nice to have a heel stirrup. So at $950, this guy really packs a lot of value in compared to other strollers that are backward and forward. Now the other 2 for $800 seem to me like steals, but that's just because I do so much outdoor activity, and any of these would be awesome for outdoor. I will say this too, when people book the appointments to come to my store to try out strollers, I will fill these strollers up to their maximum weight in both the seat and the basket, and then I have the customers take them outside, walk them through rocks, walk them on grass, walk them up a hill. The reality is nothing pushes better for outdoor walking in this price point other than this brand. So I'm such an outdoorsy person, and I don't like being indoors with my sister's kids. They're great kids, but it's just, it gets too messy. The more we can get outdoors, the better, and Bumbleride really enables you to do that. Now, that being said, I did point out that the Speed was a personal favorite. Yes, it's a running stroller. No, I'm not a runner. But why I like the Speed is gonna be that the 16-inch rear tire on this model actually makes the basket sit up a little bit higher. So if I'm walking through snow, grass, gravel, any place icky, it's easier to get the stroller to maneuver through it because there's less likely to be dragging on anything high catching on there. And additionally, just from a physics standpoint, rotating a larger tire requires less effort on my part than a tire that's smaller. So when people are very attracted to travel strollers, I understand because they apparently fold small, but the reality of pushing them is that they're very hard to get moving and to keep moving. So if you think about going up a hill, like let's say at the Oakland Zoo with a bigger, older kid, any of these 3 are gonna be awesome for that. But to really go the extra distance, or if you wanted to run, that's where that 16-inch tire is gonna really kick in and be worth it. That being said, let's show you the fold on all 3, because all 3 of them, I'd argue, have a really nice compact fold considering how big sometimes people feel 3-wheel strollers are. So of course, Era being the 4-wheel, we would expect this guy to have a pretty decent little fold, which is showing us there. We'll go ahead and fold up Speed. I'd argue Speed also has a very nice compact fold, especially for a running stroller. And then Indie is definitely a favorite. God, that is so light. It's just like shocking how lightweight it is. I know it's only 24 pounds, but it feels like it's 19. I mean, it feels really lightweight. So as you can see, all of them folded up. take up roughly the same amount of space in the trunk. And then keep in mind too, if you wanted to, you can always remove the tires super easily. So if getting them in and out of your vehicle is easier to remove the tire, all of them do that, or for cleaning, or for pumping up. So easy to fold, all have a locking mechanism, easy to unfold as well. Now Bumbleride makes a lot of accessories. You can buy a cup holder for $59. It's a parent pack that goes across the back. You could buy bassinets for any of these. Definitely a nice option. Again, I would not spend the money on it because 2 of these versions are already overnight, or not overnight, but they are newborn compatible with the full recline. And again, on Speed, my solution to that would be to buy a car seat adapter and throw the car seat on there from birth. So you can turn any of these strollers into travel systems with the purchase of their adapters sold separately. And the other thing that's great is that they make adapters for a broader variety of brands than most other companies. So again, they're a little more bespoke. They're going to be able to offer that Graco adapter, that Kiko adapter, when other brands are like, no, you can't have those. You can only have the ones that are for Nuna, Cybex, Maxi Cozy, and Clek. Bumbleride's going to give you more choices than that. Now that being said, I still think those other car seats are probably a little bit nicer, but it is completely your call. And let's say you're being gifted a car seat from somebody else that you have no control over. It's nice to know that if you wanted to buy an adapter for a different brand, it would be possible for you to do it. So here I've got the Nuna showing on the Speed. Speed uses the same adapter set as Indie. And then I'll go ahead and remove this seat from the Era. The other nice thing about this is for storage in the home, we can fold that up, just put it out of the way, which is great. And with Era, it's kind of nice because you can simply remove all of the big material and then get the car seat adapters on super easily. And we'll go ahead and put the Clek on there just to show. Very cool, very fun. Now keep in mind with Speed or with Indie, we can remove all of the material and make the stroller essentially naked and put the car seat on there as well. So if you wanted either one of these to look more like how this looks right now, that's possible. It just takes a little bit more effort to remove the material from the entire frame. However, if you see yourself using the car seat primarily for those first 3 to 6 months, and you don't think you'd lay the baby directly in the fabric, might be smart to remove it because it'll be lighter weight and you can keep that fabric clean for longer. So, we went over all of that. They do, again, make car seat adapters, cup holders. They make infant inserts that go in here. I covered it in 2 other videos. They make an organic one for $85. They do make liners as well. So if your kid is disgusting and eating and you want to peel out the liner to wash that, instead of dealing with removing all the fabric and washing that, they make a liner for $60. And it's a great way to add a little dash of color or individual personality to a product. Okay, timer went off. That's usually a good time to end the video, but if you guys have any questions or comments about any of the Bumbleride single strollers, leave them below. As I said, cannot recommend this brand highly enough. I love the products, ultra lightweight, super easy to put in the car, super green story, 3-year warranty, much more bespoke than a lot of other products out there, and just something different. If you're sick of all the same things and you want to get out into the world and really explore, Bumbleride is an awesome partner in crime for that type of activity. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Please feel free to check out any of my other videos and we'll see you in maybe some other comparisons.